Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome. By the authority given in the statutes of the Open University, I declare this congregation open for the conferment of degrees and the presentation of graduates. Distinguished guests, graduates, family and friends, it is an absolute privilege and pleasure to welcome you all to the 19th of the Open University's degree ceremonies being held in 2022. And of course, a special welcome to our honorary graduands, Miss Carrie Gracie and Miss Tressa Burke. We are absolutely delighted to be able to honour both of you and your amazing achievements today. Each year, the Open University awards a range of qualifications that you have all worked so hard for, from certificates of higher education to doctorates. And during 2022, we will have more than 8,000 graduates come to our degree ceremonies. For all of my colleagues, and definitely for me, these are absolute highlights of our year. It's a fantastic chance to celebrate your success. We have ceremonies throughout England, Wales, Northern Ireland, and the Republic of Ireland, as well, of course, as Scotland today. You're graduating from the biggest university in Europe with an extraordinary scale, scope, and reach. But our success is down to what our graduates achieve, not just the qualification that you're presented with today, but the difference that you'll go on and make with it. So it goes without saying that today is a very important occasion in the life of you, our graduates, and your families and loved ones, as well as the university and all of my colleagues who I hope you feel have nurtured and supported you while you've been studying with us. And so, of course, you could be forgiven for thinking that on such an important occasion, in the setting with the organ and the robes, that this needs to be solemn, but you'd be completely wrong. We want this to be a proper day of celebration, and I have done a ceremony in Glasgow before, and I know that you can make quite a lot of noise, Glasgow. So I will be very disappointed if anyone crosses the stage today to anything less than thunderous applause or any other way you choose to express your enthusiasm and support. So graduates, I think we should have a practice at embarrassing you before we get going. All of you who are able to stand, graduates, please do so. Excellent. Family, friends, OU colleagues, let's get this started by giving our amazing graduates a huge round of applause. Okay, graduates, you can sit down again now. Thank you. And there's another way that you can show your appreciation to the graduates who are here today. Please do post your messages and your photos on whatever social media you like, and be sure to use our hashtag that we use for all of our graduation ceremonies, which is OUFamily, and that will help you share your congratulations and your celebrations with everyone in the OU community. Today, the ceremony will begin with us awarding the Honorary degree of Doctor of the University to Ms. Carrie Gracie. And Ms. Farkasan, Assistant Director for Marketing from the Open University in Scotland, is going to present Carrie Gracie, who will then sign our Honorary Graduates book and make her reply. Then we'll see the presentation of degrees to those graduates who have gained higher degrees and Bachelor of Arts degrees, and they will be presented by Mrs. Shona Littlejohn, Deputy Director for Student Experience and Widening Access at the OU in Scotland. We'll then award the Honorary degree of Doctor of the University to Ms. Tressa Burke. Ms. Susan Stewart, Director of the Open University in Scotland, will present Tressa Burke, who will also sign the Honorary Graduates book and make her reply. And then we'll continue our presentation of graduates with those who have gained Bachelor of Engineering, Bachelor of Law, Bachelor of Science degrees and diplomas of higher education. And those will be presented by Ms. Mary Hendry, Deputy Director for External Engagement and Partnerships from the Open University in Scotland. And finally, I'll conclude the ceremony with a final address to the graduates. So I now call upon Ms. Anne Farkasan to present the first of the honorary degrees.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, colleagues, graduates and guests. Carrie Gracie is a journalist and broadcaster and a leading expert on China, as well as a campaigner for gender equality and equal pay. Carrie grew up in Scotland and studied at the University of Edinburgh before reading philosophy, politics and economics at Hertford College, Oxford. Later, she earned a degree in Chinese from the University of Westminster. After teaching English in China, she joined the BBC as a trainee producer in current affairs. In the 1990s, she worked for the World Service as China correspondent and Beijing bureau chief, where she covered events including the death of Deng Xiaoping and the handover of Hong Kong. Returning to the UK, she spent several years as a main presenter on the BBC News Channel, anchoring the morning coverage. She also hosted the BBC's weekly World Service programme, The Interview. She regularly went on assignment to China and was a fixture of the BBC's coverage during the 2008 Olympics. She won both an Emmy and a Peabody, which honours excellence in storytelling on contemporary social issues, for the programme White Horse Village, which tracked the transformation of a farming community in rural China in order to tell a bigger story of China's economic and social change. In 2013, Carrie took up the newly created position of China editor at the BBC. 4 years later, she resigned in order to protest about the lack of equal pay with her male colleagues. Her open letter to the BBC audiences brought renewed attention to pay inequality. Her intervention prompted a parliamentary inquiry and was the catalyst for a series of claims against the BBC by many other women. Only after she had exhausted the internal dispute proceedings and threatened to take the BBC to a tribunal did her employer finally concede they were in the wrong. Carrie received a public apology, equal pay and backdated pay reflecting the salaries of her male colleagues. During this period, Carrie received thousands of letters from women in similar situations but who lacked the financial resources, public profile and union support. As a result, she promptly donated her entire settlement to the Fawcett Society. The charity created a specific fund to provide legal advice to other women being underpaid and to support legal cases aimed at strengthening legal protection for women. Carrie subsequently wrote a best-selling book about her experiences, Equal. Though Carrie has mentioned it's not as best-selling as it should be. The book not only examines inequality in the workplace, but provides practical advice and strategies for tackling it. It has been illegal to pay women less than men for the same work for more than 50 years, yet systemic and cultural issues mean that equal pay remains far from a reality. In shining a spotlight on one such institution, Carrie has prompted a far wider conversation about equality in Britain today. Her campaign has been testament both to the power of collective organisation and to the difference that an individual can make. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, by the authority of the Senate, I present to you for the honorary degree of Doctor of the University, Carrie Gracie.
Gosh, that was a bit overwhelming. Thank you all. Thank you very much, Anne, and thank you, Josie. I'm very, very conscious of the honour bestowed on me by the university. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful to everybody here today and everybody who's making this beautiful event possible after so long not in each other's companies due to COVID. I'm very, very happy to be here with all of you. Yeah, big achievement to get there that you have done. And my son's actually studying for an Open University degree at the moment. And, if I said he raised an eyebrow at the idea of me getting a doctorate for doing not a whole lot, that would be understating his response. But I wanted to talk about, commitment today, because I know that it's really tough to get there when you're working, when you've got family, when you've maybe got kids, when you've got friends or loved ones who need help or support, when COVID going on, when there's so many distractions and calls on your time to actually put the study in, day out. It was very kind of Anne to mention my academic qualifications, and when I was doing my Chinese degree, I did it at evening classes at the University of Westminster, and that was in my 30s, but which is a long time ago now, but I can still remember how tough that was at times to make the commitment to show up to do that study. So I totally respect you all for getting here today, and respect the sacrifices made by your families and your friends to get you here and to support you all the way through as well. And it pays off. It pays off. And I suppose, as Anne pointed out very kindly in bigging me up just there, I guess that was about showing up and committing both my China work and then my equal pay fight. I think the reason why I felt so very fierce about my equal pay fight was because I had shown up, I had committed to the China work day in, day out for, the best part of 3 decades on and off. I'd been in China roles, and they're not easy. And I knew that I was really showing up and really doing the work and really, contributing I felt I was contributing equally. And I suppose that's what gave me the confidence to actually take on that big equal pay fight. So the showing up, the commitment that you've all shown, the commitment, I guess, that I showed while I'm here today over the China work and then the equal pay fight is what gives you the confidence in life to know that you can go on and take on other challenges. And I hope that will be so for you, that knowing that you've been through what you've been through to get here today will give you the confidence in the other challenges that you may face in the future. I'm not always great at showing up and at committing. I find, it's like on a sunny day, it's like climbing a Scottish hill, isn't it? It's sunny in the morning, you've got your picnic, and then by the time you've climbed half an hour, you think, I'm hungry, I'll have my lunch. And then you have your picnic, and then you go on, and then it starts pouring, or the fog comes down, or whatever, and then you think, why am I doing this? Why did I commit to this? And I'm a bit like that with quite a lot of the things I take on in life. And the actual showing up, keeping on committing, keeping on putting one foot in front of the other is a great challenge to me. Get distracted, get discouraged, I feel self-doubt. And, both in my China work and in the equal pay fight, if you're sitting in a Chinese police cell, or if your minibus has just slid off the bank, somewhere in West China, or if you're up all night editing a piece for the 10 o'clock news and then Trump tweets something or Boris does something, which you, as China editor, after you've worked a week and traveled across China and back for one news piece that you've crafted beautifully, you've been up all night because you're 8 hours ahead of London and they can't be bothered to think about it until it's kind of 9 p.m. their time, which is 5 a.m. your time. And then they said, oh, sorry, Carrie, we're going to drop you. Those kind of moments in the China experience, or when you're thinking, when you have self-doubt about why you're showing up and why you're committing. And likewise, in the equal pay fight, I wrote an open letter, as Anne mentioned, which was on the front page of the Times newspaper. And as I was drafting that letter and rewriting it and polishing it, because I knew it was going to be a big issue, calling my employer out. I would be in breach of contract, which doesn't allow you to talk about your employer, certainly not the BBC, which doesn't allow you, if you're a BBC journalist, you're in breach of editorial guidelines if you express an opinion on something that's a matter of public concern. So I was in breach of editorial guidelines, I was in breach of contract. My very kind pro bono lawyer was going, you could so be sacked tomorrow. And getting that message across and just sticking with it, it was tough. Those called for commitment on my part, just like what you've done has called for commitment on your part. And I suppose what I wanted to say today is I'm really surprised that in both those cases, the commitment kind of paid off. I feel, that my China work, when I look back on it, that I would, if I hadn't kind of committed to it and plodded on and put one foot in front of the other like I did, that my China work would not have been Emmy winning and all the rest of it. It would have been shallower. It might have been kind of flash in the pan good on a given day, but it wouldn't have been as good as that kind of lifelong commitment to following that story made it. And similarly with the equal pay fight, that really paid off. As Anne said, I won. That was amazing to win against the BBC. And a lot of other BBC women won as well, and we did, as a group, inspire, other people across other women across the economy. And as Anne said, that equal pay advice service, which, by the way, is there should anyone need it. It's free legal advice for women facing equal pay issues in their workplaces. So that also, I hope, helps other people. So it pays off committing, I think, is what I feel at this point in my life. And clearly it's paid off for all of you. I mean, here you are today, so that's awesome. And I want to go home tonight and I'll tell my son that I was in this room, in this beautiful concert hall, with all of you, and encourage him as he goes forward with his Open University degree. Just don't give up, just keep on putting one foot in front of the other, keep going, and you will get there. You will be sitting, in these beautiful gowns in the concert hall and being clapped by everybody you know. So that's great for him. I will take that message back, and I hope you will all turn around to people in your life and give them confidence and encouragement from your achievement today as well. And that's all for tomorrow, though, because, today, really the message should be very simple, which is huge congratulations to all of you. Be proud of yourselves. It's such an achievement, and have the most amazing day. And thanks for sharing it with me.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, I shall now present graduates who have gained higher degrees and have been able to attend here today. For the degree of Doctorate of Education, I present to you for a thesis entitled Clinical Skills Teaching by Mentors of Student Nurses in Very Remote Rural Scotland, Tamsin Smith. I present to you for the degree of Master of Arts in Art History, Beth Brawley. Nicole Brownlee. For the Master of Arts in Classical Studies, I present Samantha Dixon. George Morgan. For the degree of Master of Arts in Creative Writing, I present Catherine Healy. Cara Scott Morrison. Susan Shepherd. For the degree of Master of Arts in Crime and Justice, I present Richard Gardner. Carol Hunter. Rhiannon Stenhouse. For the degree of Master of Arts in English, I present James Doyle. For the degree of Master of Arts in Online and Distance Education, I present Coral Donesco-Dunnicky. McLean McIntosh. For the degree of Master of Arts in Philosophy, I present Andrew Graham. For the degree of Master of Arts in Translation, I present Anne Patrick. For the degree of Master of Business Administration, I present Andrew Cairns. Y. Cassidy. Laura Mock. Sarah Muir. Caitlin Roebuck Ferguson. For the degree of Master in Education, I present Janie Henderson. For the degree of Master of Laws, I present Alice Forbes Littlewood. For the degree of Master of Science in Advancing Healthcare Practice, I present Tracy Cameron. Laura Lennox. Barbara Sayers. For the degree of Master of Science in Computing, I present Louis de Bashtosh. Kevin McHarg. For the degree of Master of Science in Cybersecurity, Graduate Apprenticeship, I present Craig McKechnie. Ashley McMichael. For the degree of Master of Science in Environmental Management, I present Jordan McKinstry. For the degree of Master in Finance, I present Anna Mazurek. For the degree of Master of Science in Medicinal Chemistry and Bachelor of Science, I present Paul Gray. For the degree of Master of Science in Mental Health Science, I present Linda Martin. Marilyn Ritchie. For the degree of Master of Science in Psychology, I present Victoria Leggett. Anna Mowat. Tom Patterson. Katrina Roche. And for the degree of Master of Science in Technology Management, I present John Rice. I present for the degree of Bachelor of Arts, Claire Anderson. Susan Baggett. Stacey Bagan. Yvonne Banks. Caitlin Beattie. Gillian Bidgood. Barbara Bonatti-Divers. Lauren Bowden. Andrew Boyle. Jennifer Bratton. Amy Brownlee. Kellyanne Bryden. Donna Calder. Andrew Calderwood. Jordan Campbell. Catherine Champness. Hannah Chapman. Margaret Charlick. Emma Clanahan. Linda Clark. Kim Clements. Laura Costello. Suzanne Cool. Erin Cuthbert. Yetunde Dare. Anne-Marie Davey. Chris Elaine Davey. Lisanne Donald. Isabel Duncan. Carolyn Edgar. Sarah Farkasan. Carol Fox. Luis Garcia Sanchez. Amanda Gilmore. Craig Graham. Lee Gratty. Melissa Gribben. Ross Greenshields. Elizabeth Grigg. Christopher Hart. Alan Henderson. Elizabeth Johnson. Danielle Jones. Joseph Jones. Harjeet Kaur. Lakshmi Kaur. Claire Kinleyside. Michelle Keith. Nafisa Khalik. Kerry Kirk. Joanne Kirkham. Misha Landsman. Nicole Laban. Teresa Machado Perez. And it's a happy birthday to Lauren McIver. Pauline Mackenzie. Leanna McKinnon. Emily Mahood. Samantha McKenna. Elizabeth McDougall. Fiona McDougall. Lynette McFarlane. Anne McIntyre. Gerard McKay. Lorna McLean. Gillian McNeil. Ushjan Mould. Karen Mowbray. Rachel O'Boyle. Kerry O'May. Henry Parsons. Leslie Peters. Gary Phillips. Christopher Porter. Sonia Rashid. Louise Reddy. Cheryl Rice. Alexander Robertson. Andrew Rogers. Lorna Ross. Tariq Sajjad. Leslie Schooler. Neil St. Patrick. Angela Simpson. Nicole Simpson. Aidan Smith. Amanda Smullen. Rebecca Strachan. Elaine Tate. Jade Taylor. Duncan Terry. Gail Thompson. Gordon Thompson. Paul Vaughan. Ross Wheeler. Paul Wilson. Alistair Wingate. And Carol Ann Wynne.
Follow that. So, Deputy Vice-Chancellor, colleagues, graduates, guests, Tressa Burke is a lifelong campaigner for the rights of disabled people who's developed her career to promoting participation and inclusion for all. Tressa studied philosophy and music at the University of Glasgow before earning a diploma in social work and then a master's degree. She began her career in social services at Glasgow City Council and then moved to the voluntary sector to manage the Gorbals Community Forum. She was a founder member of the Glasgow Disability Alliance in 2001 and 5 years later was appointed its Chief Executive Officer. She has taken the organisation from strength to strength over the past 2 decades, remaining true to the initial vision of combating social isolation among disabled people and focusing above all on developing and drawing on disabled people's own strengths. Glasgow Disabled Alliance is a model of grassroots community activism, 5,000 plus strong member-led organisation which works to build confidence, create connections and enable contributions from diverse disabled people. The organisation offers everything from advice on welfare rights and wellbeing support to support with finding work, to learning and training programmes, and at the same time, it campaigns strongly for positive change by working to shape and influence government and policy decisions, building disabled people's confidence and capacity to share their own lived experience and solutions for change. Whether by improving access to public spaces, campaigning for stronger social security systems, or promoting equal opportunities in employment and education. Tressa has a particular interest in the cumulative impact of disadvantaged and exclusion, and as a result, the Glasgow Disability Alliance works to create safe and inclusive spaces for all, with networks dedicated to the rights and needs of disabled people of colour, disabled women, and LGBT plus disabled people, as well as support tailored for every stage of individual people's lives. During the pandemic, Tressa worked tirelessly to reorient the organisation to combat the worsened isolation and marginalisation experienced by disabled people who, as many of you know, were the very worst affected by the pandemic. Today, the Alliance is working with renewed determination to ensure that disabled people contribute to and benefit from social and economic recovery. Tressa also lends her expertise and experience to a variety of other organisations. She serves on the Wider Action Committee of the New Gorbals Housing Association, supporting and providing advice around plans to widen participation and inclusion for all local people. She is also a trustee of Self-Directed Support Scotland, which works to ensure that disabled people themselves exercise choice and control over social care services and that they have the independent support needed to do this. She serves as an advisor to both Glasgow City Government and also the Scottish Government, contributing to a number of expert advisory groups, and as a member of the First Minister's National Advisory Council for Women and Girls. At the Open University, we share Tressa's passionate commitment to social inclusion and participation, and her belief in the particular importance of access to lifelong learning and education for disabled people. That's why we were delighted that Tressa agreed to join the OU in Scotland's External Advisory Group. As many of you will know, we have more disabled students in the Open University than the rest of the higher education sector combined. And we know that studying with us is often a transformative experience which enables our graduates to make a huge difference in their own communities. Deputy Vice-Chancellor, by the authority of the Senate, I present to you for the honorary degree of Doctor of the University, Tressa Burke.
Glasses on because I can't see anything. It's my age. I've got a few notes here to keep me focused so that I don't go off in a tangent because I could talk for quite a while. So Deputy Vice-Chancellor, fellow graduates and families, friends and guests, it is amazing to be with you all and in such a prestigious and beautiful surrounding. I think everybody would agree. Congratulations to you all here today. Everybody graduating, what an achievement and what a happy and proud day for you all and for us all. Congratulations to Carrie too. I'm really blown away, Carrie, by your courage and by your commitment and by everything you've achieved for women as a fellow equalities campaigner. I do want to especially acknowledge the people amongst us here today that have overcome additional barriers. So Susan was saying there about the number of disabled students, but I know that there's also students who are carers, who are lone parents, who are studying alongside working, possibly juggling kids and other responsibilities. What an achievement to have made it with all these other considerations, and you should all be so proud. I'm really proud too, standing here in front of you, and grateful for Susan's kind words and for saying a little bit about Glasgow Disability Alliance, which is very close to my heart. Thanks to the Open University for this truly amazing honour. It's just an outstanding institution in terms of the support and access it puts in place for students. It's an organisation I've been already proud to be associated with through the external advisory group that Susan mentioned. And through the process of this graduation ceremony that's led up to today, I've learned even more about the culture and approach. Their commitment to breaking down barriers is literally throughout the whole organisation. So from my own point of view, they took away all my concerns and worries about what if I need a toilet, what if I need to sit down, I've got MS, and so I've just got some other things that I'm dealing with. It just did not stop them in any way. Sorry about this. Yeah, so basically it made such a difference. So these really small things can make a difference, and I think you'll all know that as well. I'm sincerely honoured and very humbled to be receiving this honour because the OU is such a unique and exceptional institution, and it really does share Glasgow Disability Alliance's passion for tackling inequalities and injustice and making learning accessible for all. Both organisations are mission-driven and share an ethos of being committed to equality, diversity and inclusion, and to tackling barriers that prevent people from accessing learning and all the opportunities this brings. Over decades, I've seen from many disabled people and people generally that I've met over the years that accessing learning can be and is transformational. Now, with the cost of living crisis that we all know is coming and people are already experiencing, and the financial challenges, we might not any longer be able to say that work is a route out of poverty, because many people in work are actually still struggling, and that is about to get worse. But we can be sure that education and learning are routes out of poverty of opportunity and life chances. Chances to meet other people that might be like us, so to meet people that are our peers and can give us peer support, but also chances to meet people from completely different backgrounds. Chances to build aspirations and self-belief that you can achieve more, and also build the motivation to try, especially when you're surrounded by people supporting you and encouraging you. And the chance to use this learning to make a difference to your own life, to your families, and to other people. Because learning does have an intrinsic value, whether it leads to work or not. I couldn't be prouder to become part of the OU family, which changes people's lives in this way every day. Now, we all know that nothing's achieved on our own, and I want to pay tribute to my amazing board of disabled people who govern GDA and who support me. Also, my dedicated staff team, more than half of whom are disabled people, and they do go above and beyond every day to help disabled people. And in particular, Angela Mullen, our convener, and Marianne Scobie, the Deputy Chief Exec, who are also disabled people and founder members, along with myself. And even our finance manager, she's just a dynamo. She's just graduated with a community development degree, age 73, giving us all a role model and something to aspire to. Isn't that amazing? She'll be really happy that you gave her a clap. And also to my partner and family and close friends who support me, and they do forgive me for all my absences when I'm working in some GDA emergency or priority, usually funding, to keep it all going. But above all, I'd really like to shine a light on GDA's members, who are very diverse disabled people with all kinds of impairments and conditions, but united around shared experience of barriers and a resolve to improve their own lives and the lives of other disabled people. This community is needed now more than ever because, unfortunately, disabled people's rights have regressed. Over a decade of austerity had started that process, and all the cuts that came with it, and then COVID. So my final thoughts to all of you here today as you move forward in your life, now with all this learning and all the brilliant things you've achieved, give a thought to disabled people if you can, and those who might need an extra hand up, and take whatever small actions you can to support them. We call this Honours in Glasgow, just a wee hand up. I firmly believe, and I've got lots of evidence to support, that with the right support, people can achieve anything. They can fulfil their potential and they can flourish. But some of us just need a wee bit extra help. And if we don't give this support, we might be missing out on a whole range of talent, a whole range of people who can and could contribute if only given the chance, and who might be able to help us tackle some of the problems that we're facing in society. Congratulations again, and much happiness and fulfilment in whatever you do next. And most importantly of all, have a fantastic graduation day. I'm very much looking forward to celebrating with my own family, and again, I'm grateful and humbled by this prestigious honour. Thank you.
Deputy Vice-Chancellor, continuing the presentation of graduates, I shall now present those who have gained Bachelor of Engineering, Bachelor of Laws, Bachelor of Science degrees and diplomas of higher education and have been able to attend here today. I present for the degree of Bachelor of Engineering, David Bain. Helen Bickett. Donnie Black. Scott Burns. Greg Carter. Sarah Dawson. Jack Garland. Andrew Gilchrist. Liam Gribben. Oliver Livingston. Mark McGregor. Cameron Martindale. Richard Matheson. Stephen McIrvin. Stephen Murray. Zilvinas Petraukas. Callum Teague. For the degree of Bachelor of Laws, I present Ikpenmosa Agahawa. Holly Kingham. Morgan Mallon. Derek Matheson. Michelle Milne. Ailey Montgomery. Genuine Mwasha. James Slaughter. John Young. For the degree of Bachelor of Science, I present Sarah Altman. Paul Ballantyne. Michael Barnes. Loic Bomatan. Nikki Bennett. Ross Beveridge. Rachel Berkeley. Jennifer Black. Philip Black. Eamon Bolger. Elena Browett. Shona Brown. Ariana Bryce. Maggie Burns. Graham Cadger. Erin Carters. Lisa Christie. Chelsea Clare. Charlotte Collins. Laura Cook. Marta Svidkowska. Kamil Cybulski. Andrea Davanzo. Elaine Demir. Paulo Di Stillo. Karen Dowell. Mark Duffy. Barry Dunlop. David Dice. Laura Elam. Emma Eldridge. Joanna Fallon. Alice Fitzgibbon. Andrew Flynn. Carol Forrester. Michelle Garson. Anne-Marie Gemmel. Joanne Hampson. Michael Hanna. Alexandra Harvey. Katie Hernandez. Daniel Hignett. Marie Hogg. Rebecca Horn. Rosemary Hunter. Grant Hutchison. Joanne Key. Kate Kivlishin. Pen Lee. Ross Leeper. Leanne Lyle. Barry McKellich. Marilis McKinnon. Leanne McPherson. Aisha Mahmood. Kristen Mayer. Nicola Manson. Elaine Massey. Craig McCall. Craig McCartan. Jennifer MacDonald. Lauren McFarlane. George McLaughlin. April McNaught. Ross Monaghan. Rachel Morrison. Emily Mortimer. Deleith Moylan. Ashley Muirhead. Aisha Mushtaq. Pauline Mayeska. Lorna Nichols. Kerry O'Connor. Kate Pinnell. Craig Petterson. Julie Plenderleith. Robert Ray. Veronica Rasmussen. Kieran Reid. Scott Rennie. Ryan Rimkus. Lindsay Scott. Gillian Shearer. Ryan Simmons. Vicky Simpson Price. Danielle Skier. Caitlin Snashfold. Tracy Squires. Ailey Stewart. Jennifer Stewart. Lorraine Stout. Simon Taylor. Lorna Templeton. Gavin Thomas. Ailsa Tomini. Siobhan Ufernolte. Wilfred Valentine. Gillian Walker. Sophie Ward. Beata Watson. Christine Wright. And for the Diploma of Higher Education, Amy Anderson. Amy Gillespie. Santiago Lizardo Esqueres. Ian McAlonan. Bitika Nandi. and Don Smith.
Well, how do you follow that? It is a huge privilege for me to share this wonderful occasion. Graduation days are absolutely the best bit of my job. And after the past couple of years, being able to do this in person makes it even more special. There's something about the range of expressions and reactions as people come across the stage that is always fascinating. There are people who are just so amazed and happy. There are people who are frankly relieved that they don't have to make any more deadlines or hand in any more TMAs. And there are people who want to share a little bit about their story too, hence me having a lot of waterproof mascara on hand for these ceremonies, because people often tell me things that give you a real heartfelt moment. There are, of course, also those of you who, let's be honest, were hoping I wouldn't stop to chat and you could get off the stage as fast as possible. But whatever the reaction, I hope all of you feel, as I do, that we've shared an awful lot of joy today, not least with our most amazing honorary graduates and their fantastic speeches. And they've done me a big favour because they've talked a lot about how amazing you are, which means I can cut out about 2/3 of my speech. We can rightly describe ourselves as Scotland's widening access university, open to everyone regardless of age, income, geography and background. And I think that's something that we should all be very proud of. But I think you can also be very proud of being part of a university that has had phenomenal impact throughout its just over 50-year history. We are confident we have given you a very high-quality education, and we've been in a class of our own for a long time now. You might not realise it, but OU scientists have been involved in pretty much every major space mission since the Apollo moon landing in 1969, and our commitment to research with societal impact is well recognised, with 82% of our research impact assessed to be world-leading or internationally excellent last year. Our researchers transform lives, shape policy and tackle critical challenges across the UK's 4 nations and worldwide. And we take that knowledge from our researchers into the teaching that we've delivered to you, but also out into people's living rooms with our mission to widen education. Since the early 1970s, the Open University BBC partnership has broadcast thousands of hours of jaw-dropping programmes. 2/3 of the UK population and millions of people worldwide recently watched The Green Planet, for example. And we know that from small companies to the NHS, with 70% of the FTSE 100 companies sponsoring staff to study with the OU, we know that we inspire employers and employees to create better futures. Employers understand that a part-time degree means you are hardworking, committed and disciplined. No kidding, right? And we know that what you've achieved will be recognised as you move forward with your careers. We do some amazing things internationally with those who need help the most. A raft of measures have been launched recently to help students, including Ukrainians who are fleeing the war and arriving in the UK. And closer to home, we work with 21 police forces to train the next generation of police officers, as well as making sure that learning doesn't stop for people in prison who want to turn their lives around and who can access study with us and change their lives. So in graduating today, you're joining a large number of graduates who are members of a university that is a world leader in technology, in innovation, in helping people, all people, to learn. It's a movement of millions, but a mission of one. And I think that's something that we should all be really proud of. There are, of course, a lot of people who've contributed to your achievement today. We've got amazing associate lecturers who have guided you through the journey. We've got the advisors who handled your very first inquiry when you were perhaps thinking about studying. We've got the academics who designed and wrote your course materials, and the people who were there to support you when, frankly, you thought another deadline was going to be one too many. Our staff know how hard you've worked, that you've been on not a part-time study journey, but a tough triple-time journey, and we're so proud of you. So I want to take a chance to thank my OU colleagues for all the work they do in supporting you, and also to thank your family, friends, and colleagues who've kept you going, culminating in your journey across the stage today. When you leave, you'll become an ambassador for the Open University and everything that we stand for. Please stay in touch with us, whether that's through our LinkedIn careers group, sharing your professional experience and connecting with other students and graduates. Some of you might, trust me, I know it doesn't seem like a good idea now, but after a break, when you realise there's not a lot on the TV, unless obviously it's an OU BBC co-production, and you can't figure out what you're going to do with your evenings anymore now you've got no assessments, some of you will be back. When you've had a pause to recover, you might want to think about continuing your studies. And do remember that you can receive free careers and employability advice from our teams for 3 years after you graduate. We'll be in touch to tell you what you can do with our Alumni Association too. You all personify the motto on our crest, learn and live. And I hope you are all able, as our honorary graduates demonstrated so brilliantly, to give things back to a world filled with many who are less fortunate. Make the most of this opportunity. You may feel the strain of studying for your degree has added a few grey hairs. But I do love Samuel Ullman's phrase, years may wrinkle the skin, but to give up enthusiasm wrinkles the soul. The spirit of youth pervades the OU, and it is a gift that you take away with you. I hope you stay forever young in your souls, generous in your hearts, and ambitious in what you can do with your life. Graduates, can I ask you one last time to please stand? And guests, let's congratulate these amazing graduates one last time. Congratulations, all of you. You can take your seats again. The proceedings of this degree ceremony are now completed, and I declare this meeting of congregation closed. The piper will now provide us with a musical farewell, at the end of which I would ask everyone who is able to stand, and hopefully you will join us for a drink as we process out of the auditorium. Thank you very much, everyone.